Hello everyone, I'm Tyranitar and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. Today I'm talking about the best counters for Zapdos for you to use in Zapdos Day on the 21st of July. If you don't know it already, Zapdos is an electric and flying type Pokemon, and as so has weakness to only rock and ice type attacks. If you don't have any of the Pokemon I'm going to talk about in this video, you can try and use your other rock or ice attackers, but I really advise you to use those in this video. This list of counters was done by researching both in PokeBattler in Go Battle Sim, so if you want to check out the results for yourself, links in the description. So, starting my list with the best possible counter, he's number 1 in all of these weathers. It's Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitar. Like predicted in my first video on this channel, Smackdown Tyranitar is the best counter for the birds, and in partially clouded weather it becomes the only Pokemon that is able to duo Zapdos. I'll try to duo it when it comes out, and if I can, I'll post a video on this channel. So, nonetheless, here are the breakpoints for Smackdown Tyranitar for every friendship level available right now, and also with weather boost. If you want to check out the spreadsheet I'm using, link in the description. Thank you to DonDon151. Again, really nice work. So, let's talk now about the second best counter. And it's Golem with Rock Throw Stone Edge. Again, Golem was outclassed by Tyranitar as a rock attacker, but since he actually has an immunity tier resistance to electrical attacks, he actually performs really well versus Zapdos, being the second best overall counter, especially in partially clouded weather, where its rock attacks are boosted as well. As I did with Tyranitar, here are the breakpoints by friendship, and also when it's weather boosted as well. Now, for the third best counter, and a surprise at least for me, it's Rayquaza with Dragon Tail Outrage. It doesn't deal super effective damage for Zapdos, and even though it doesn't even resist electrical attacks, it actually performs really well DPS wise, actually being the best counter in windy weather. And another fun fact, in partially clouded weather, it's the third best counter, but using the Dragon Tail Asian Power moveset. So again, I'll be posting the breakpoints for Rayquaza with all the friendship levels and when it's weather boosted in windy weather as well. Now, the next best counter for Zapdos is Jynx with the Frost Breath Avalanche moveset. It actually performs very good without even having any weather boost, but in snowy weather it's actually the best possible counter for Zapdos. It's the best ice type attacker that actually doesn't have a problem with electrical attacks, so no Articuno, and its DPS is actually really good, so that makes it a really good counter as well. Here are the breakpoints, again with friendship and with weather boost. For this next group of counters, I'll be going a little faster because they are more weather dependent, and it's Dragonite with Dragon Tail Outrage in windy weather. Although not as strong as Rayquaza, it's still better than Tyranitar in windy weather, so if you are raiding in this kind of weather, you should aim to use Rayquaza and Dragonites over your Tyranitars if they actually reach their breakpoints. And here are the breakpoints for Dragonite. Now, going along, let's go and talk about Mewtwo. Mewtwo also performs really well in foggy weather, actually outperforming Golem, but still being a step below Tyranitar with its Confusion Shadow Ball moveset. In neutral weather, Mewtwo is not that bad, although you should aim to use the other counters I've already talked about. So, I'll leave you with the breakpoints for Confusion Mewtwo in foggy weather, meaning no weather boost. Another weather dependent counter is Piloswine. It's actually a nice and ground type Pokemon, so it actually has an immunity tier resistance to electrical attacks, which is actually really good, but he only really performs in snowy weather, being the third best pick for that weather, following both Jynx and Tyranitar. Still a worthy pick to mention. Here are the breakpoints for Ice Shard with a weather boost. Now, in rainy weather, this is where Raikou comes in. He actually performs better than Golem, and it's actually fun to see two legendary electrical Pokemon battling it out. Raikou with Thundershock Wild Charge is a really good DPS attacker in this weather, and although he only does neutral damage to Zapdos, he actually resists the electrical damage from the legendary bird, which actually makes it a tanky option as well. So here are the breakpoints for Thundershock Raikou in rainy weather. Since we talked about Raikou, might as well talk about Entei as well. He's the number 2 pick in clear weather, and it actually performs better than Golem, which is pretty impressive since he doesn't deal any super effective damage to Zapdos. One other thing to take into account is that, same with Regice, the best fast move changes according to their breakpoints and is actually influenced by the friendship bonus as well. So I'll leave you with the breakpoints in clear weather, and you can see where Fire Fang outshines Fire Spin, and when Fire Spin does better than Fire Fang as well. And this is all I have to say about Entei. Let's go to the final counter. It's Gengar with Shadow Claw Shadow Ball, which is actually very weather dependent. It's top 3 in foggy weather only, and it's a legacy move Pokemon. So if you have it, you can use it, but I only advise you to use it in foggy weather, which for me is a very rare weather, and I'm pretty sure I never rated in foggy weather at all. Still, if you manage to get the weather, it's one of the best Pokemons to use, so take that as you will. And I'll leave you with the Shadow Claw breakpoints for foggy weather. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. If you wish to see all the information in this video in images, you can also follow me on Instagram. I'll leave the link down below. Until we see each other again, don't forget, go catch them all.